And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning, my futures family. It's time for the market prep, where we're always seeking accurate context, thinking about risk management, and remaining patient in our trading. It is Friday, April the 21st. My name is John. Thanks for trusting me with your time. We hope you've had a good week. Kind of thin, I think, as far as some of bigger opportunities for a lot of these markets this week, but that's the way the ball bounces. We have to play ball when the ball comes our way. So it's Friday, Capital Preservation Friday. I expect everybody to make a little bit of money today and then call it an early day. As we always say in the pit, if you're still in the pit after noon or 2 or whatever, you're chasing money. We don't want that. So make sure that you preserve capital. If you've had a good week, you don't want to blow it on Friday. If you've had a good day, make sure you take some of that home. Always be thinking about risk management and money management, really. So this morning at 8:45, we have the PMI composite preliminary out. We'll have to see how that goes. We've got equities pretty much flat, a little bit on the edge, it seems, this morning, as the awaiting PMI composite comes out after the Eurozone PMI numbers showed strong services, but weak, maybe a slowdown in manufacturing. So a little bit of imbalance there. The economy has gained momentum, but is increasing in imbalance. There's a German economist, De La Rubia, says this will likely worry European central banks, leading to tighter policy for longer. Not good news. Crude prices steady as fear of recession later this year kind of lingers around here. We've got crude still trying to close that gap it created a couple of weekends ago. Make sure that you are looking at the VIX, the dollar index, and the 10-year throughout the day. Today, VIX is up a little bit, 1732. It was 1752 at this time yesterday. Dollar index down slightly this morning at 101.77. Last I checked, it was 101.89 yesterday. No major changes there. And the yield on the 10-year right where it was yesterday at this time, pretty much dead flat at 3.54%. Same spot it was yesterday. So no big changes there. Make sure you hit the lucky like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications when we do go live. We won't be going live for anything for the rest of the day. This is our last presentation for the week, if you will. I can't tell you how much I enjoy doing this, and I appreciate everybody coming and checking it out. It is our goal at Top Step to see you succeed, and it is my personal goal to try and help you day over day to try and find that accurate context. It can be very elusive. It's always changing, but we do our best to try and put ourselves in the right positions here. So we've got Pete is the first one in the room winning the prize this morning. Shaw, good morning. Scott saw, and he conquered. Anissa, good morning. Rooster, crowing. Timothy Marks, JD, good morning. Besweed, you will be first one of these days. Just as soon as you see that notification, pop in and say hello. John, good morning. Hagel Matters, Charles March, Bill Phillips, Bear Goes Long, good morning. Lacey just popped in, looked around, and popped back out. But Mom's home today, so I'm now a second-class citizen. Where was I? Bear goes long. John, good morning. Too humble. Can we go over to TPO charts and group sessions with the emphasis on single print TPOs and use the change in open interest in respect to price? Yes, we will do that. Make sure you remind me on Monday's group session, and we will certainly talk about that. I've got another subject that was mentioned, I believe, yesterday that we're going to also look into. I was planning on showing that spreadsheet where I collect the information today. There was something kind of interesting in gold that I wanted to show everybody. So we'll get to that when we get into the charts here, and I'll show you that. You can take a screenshot of it and see how I organize that information. We'll take a look at the Swiss franc maybe on Monday during group coaching. You just pop in and remind me of that, okay? Pershatam, good morning. Travis, good morning. George Duque, good morning. Dr. VJ, Julian Henry G, Ashraf, also Ash, we'll call you Ash, Musa, good morning. Chai T, Alejandro, Robert, Joe, yes, stay calm and tranquil and centered. Vince, my guy, I was wondering if you were going to be here today because in 753 BC, it was the founding of Rome. My guy. Jack and Luna and Cheese and ladies. And it was really this isn't the anti-rally sweater. Right. Good morning, Edward, JT. Good morning. Much love to you and Bluebell as well. Lacey, I don't know if Lacey and Bluebell should ever meet. I don't know how Lacey would respond to that, but I'll just start showing her pictures, and maybe that will calm her down if she ever does get the opportunity to meet Bluebell. Sarah Hall, prayers and love as always. Will, Andy, Jason, Rusty Golfer. Oh, let's get it. Don, Steven, Marcelo, Beers with Sarah Hall, Leslie, good morning, Grounds Hero, Mitchie, good morning, and from Spain, good morning from Spain. Wow. Glad that you're here, Mitchie. And we're going to see if we can't help you get into something good today. Vlad, good morning. Edgar. And it's always a pleasure to be here. Comment on the Rhythmic Freeze Thursday afternoon. I don't have any comment on it. From what I understand, it's up and running again. If you were on Rhythmic, that caused a slowdown in our ability to do the trade reports on your dashboard. Those are being updated now. JT, I would love it if they were friends. I like to see Bluebird walking around on Lacey's back as Lacey's walking around. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have any update or a comment on the Rhythmic situation yesterday. I'm looking here. If you have an issue, make sure, though, that you contact our number one support team. They're there to help you get anything resolved that you need to get resolved. Alrighty? All right. We're going to jump into the charts here. I kind of feel like each day is a page, each week is a chapter, and there's 52 chapters in the book of each year in trading. So as we finish up this chapter, we're looking, I think, at the S&Ps, which are going to probably have their first weekly close in 6 weeks. But it doesn't, I don't think, change the market state that much. We're going to see that on the charts. Will, if you had an issue yesterday with Rhythmic and you need something again, contact our support team. There's only so many of them, but they're I'm sure working very hard to resolve any problems that were caused by that rhythmic outage. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. Here's the S&Ps. The daily. So there was a slight uptick in volume yesterday as the market tried to push lower. The open interest was inert. On the preliminary, it says there was an additional 400 in open interest. It was a big two-sided auction yesterday in short time frame controls. So there was no real, I don't think, good directional activity on any longer time frame participants yesterday. Taking a look at the short time frame auction here, I kind of have to give it a C. The longer time frame balance we know about, the medium time frame to the upside is, it's still there, it's still intact, but it's at risk of changing when we know we've been pretty much range bound for the last couple of weeks. And if we look at the weekly chart here, this is 5 straight weeks closing higher. This week looks like we're going to close lower. The NASDAQ, 3 weeks up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. Range bound NASDAQ. We've been saying that. The S&Ps still are putting in higher highs and higher lows on the weekly chart. So the upside structure does remain in the S&Ps, not so much in the NASDAQ. Here's the 30-minute chart. Wanted. The CME releases final open interest numbers sometime around 9:30. I'll show you how to get that up on the bulletin. Here's the 30-minute chart. Where are we? We are right where we opened last night. There's no overnight inventory. We're right in the middle of range and value at the point of control, at settlement. I'm really not interested in doing anything early in the session if this is where we're going to open up. We know we've got the PMI composite preliminary coming out here at 8:45, 15 minutes after the open. There may be some response to that. There may be opportunity on the after the knee-jerk response to that. I'm probably going to stay patient and wait and see if there's anything good that comes out of this. And I mean, look at this two-sided auction. We had buyers. Those buyers relinquished. We had sellers. Those sellers relinquished. We closed right back here, relatively close to the center of the range. This is a two-sided auction. Now, we've had a little bit of a pattern here where the market has opened away from the close, creating overnight inventories, and all of them have adjusted to some degree. Here's the overnight inventory on this day. We took it back. Here's the overnight inventory on this day. We came back. Here's the overnight inventory on this day. Too short. We came back to settlement. Yesterday, we did that. Yesterday, we tried. We had overnight inventory to the short side. We didn't quite get to where the settlement was, but we did get to where the market opened the overnight night before last. Well, we don't even have that to lean on today. So try, if you can, and stay patient and wait for better trade locations as the day goes on. And again, that economic release today might offer us some opportunities through the day. Take a look at the TPO chart. Normal variation trading day, neutral day, relatively symmetrical. Just a day where people were transacting business, and it didn't change much. Again, with that inert open interest change, it was just a whole bunch of short time frame traders trying to pick each other's pockets. Why is the longer time frame sitting on the bench right now, if you will? We do have next Thursday. Well, we've got. Hang on, let me get to the right spot here. So Monday, Dallas Fed manufacturing. There's nothing major for us on Monday. Tuesday next week, new home sales, consumer confidence, AP. Tuesday, Wednesday, there's durable goods orders. Crude, as always, on Wednesday. But Thursday, we have the GDP first estimate of first quarter GDP on Thursday. Are we waiting for that? Or is everybody's gonna just chill until then? And then, of course, we know the week after it's FOMC meeting. So seems like the longer time frame have just been kind of coasting edges and not being too involved here. We did have an uptick in volume today. All that excited about it. So again, where we are, right, overnight inventory. My guess, my estimate at good context would be we're probably better off waiting and finding better trade location as the day goes on. Take a look at crude oil. Crude oil is continuing to try, I think, and close this weekend gap. Expiration of the May contract was yesterday. So we lost 13,000 in the May contract yesterday and lost 4,300 in the overall. So we actually did add some directional open interest to the downside yesterday. This downside auction is achieving a B as far as I'm concerned. It's still kind of rollover affected. There's still 6,600 contracts that remain after expiration. Those are going to be either cash settled or delivered. They're no longer a part of what we're looking for as far as open interest is concerned. Take a look at the three common moving averages. We've got the 200 session, we've got the 100 session, we've got the 50. They're all in play today. When this happens, when there's I wouldn't really call these braiding, but when they're all really close, I'm very careful because the market just doesn't treat me well when this happens. So I'm looking for a continuation to a gap close here. The gap close would be down to 75.83. That's that high right there. So, just getting a pullback here. What's it look like on the 30-minute chart? Here's the move. We've left a gap here. There's really some kind of some unchecked business above here. But again, if we have overnight inventory, it's holding to the long side. We're in range above value-ish. We've just really opened. We're kind of bordering value. I'm going to say I'm probably going to stay patient. If I'm going to be looking for longs, I'd like to see an overnight inventory adjustment to get me into better trade locations. We're in range, near value, stay patient. Again, we've got this gap up here. What does the TPO chart look like, however? So we've got a normal variation day, the initial balance, the high of the regular trading hour session, and we have a weak low here, not a very strong low. So we've got a little bit of a gap here. We just saw that on the 30-minute chart. This is also a very weak high. This will be important when it becomes important. There's also a one-tick gap right here. Visuals. Markets are visual. So I'm afraid I'm not going to be providing much help here. The auction is to the downside, and I'm giving it a C. It's not a strong auction, but it's not necessarily a weak auction. But there are some concerns that this auction might be more controlled by shorter time frame traders than longer time frame traders. This weak high here being one of the biggest hints of that. So if we're too short, look for a pullback to the upside. Here's the NASDAQ now. Daily. Range. We have been range bound for the third straight week this week. Much more range bound, much more, the S&P still has a hint of upside movement to it. The NASDAQ does not. It's clearly in range and in short time frame control. A little bit of spike in volume yesterday on the two-sided auction that we also saw in the S&Ps, but we lost 1,000 in open interest, relatively inert. So here's the 30. Overnight inventory, adjusted, drive to the downside, come back, close relatively well in the daytime frame. We are holding some overnight shorts here. The NASDAQ is holding below value. Well, Tesla had a little bit of an issue, and that stock is not looking good. So, there's a little bit more pressure here on the NASDAQ, but in the longer time frame, it's still very range bound. Here's the 30 DBO chart. Randolph, good morning. So again, a normal variation day, neutral, two-sided auction all day long. Two-sided auction all day long. Did a lot of business, no real change in positioning. Locals, retail, pea shooters picking each other's pockets yesterday. Again, we open in value, patience. Patience always works. All right, now to the gold. Are we starting to look like we might be forming a head and shoulders pattern here? We'll be keeping an eye out for that. I find it difficult in the current situation to believe that we could have a big down move in gold, but I don't get to choose that. So we're 3 days, maybe 4 here, in balance. It's at risk now, though. It's at risk of of accepting outside of the balance area. We added 2,800 in open interest, but the open interest has been waffling. Now, here's that spreadsheet. If this was what you were looking for, that's not the spreadsheet. This is the spreadsheet. So there's just something interesting. This is gold. Date, contract, volume, and whether it's higher or lower than the previous day. Open interest, the net change in open interest, and whether it's higher or lower than the previous day. Price, net change on the day. Delta. What are you seeing here? Well, we're seeing negative delta. Consistently negative delta. This delta started when we were trading 1973. Well, now we're trading 2007, and we're still seeing consistent negative delta. Is this saying that we were getting the short time frame traders too short and keeping them short? There have been situations where we had price consistently moving higher, open interest consistently moving higher, and delta consistently negative, and it provided almost a $120 move. Strange. Just, kind of noticing we're seeing more aggressive sellers in gold than buyers. What's that telling us? Open interest overall has been increasing. It's been a little bit waffling lately. Here's the 30-minute chart, just to look for what we're doing today. Overnight inventory short. Excess down here. Excess up here. If the overnight inventory shorts don't start getting paid soon, they're going to get nervous. They're going to push price higher. But we're relatively centrally located in the area of balance now. There might be good trades early in the session today because we are out of balance from the range from yesterday. We're already seeing possibly some nervous shorts down here. But this consolidation from 2 o'clock in the morning on probably did a lot to even out a lot of this overnight inventory. What's the TPO chart going to tell us? Not much. Normal variation, neutral day. Excess on the low here. No excess here. Kind of an exact high here. I don't really like that if I'm short. But I'm going to stay patient. These markets are sometimes more clear than others, and I'm not seeing much clarity today. Still, not one close below this trend line here in the euro. Euro is just hanging tough. Day 4 now in a tight range. Breakout rules are going to apply whether we're at the lower extreme or the upper extreme of the area of balance. We seem to be breaking upside market state into balance through attrition. We added 800 in open interest yesterday, not a meaningful number. Look at the 30. Okay. Well, we started the overnight here. Got too short. Are we getting too long? The upper extreme of the area of balance we are testing now. Could be an interesting spot. What is wrong with my mouse? There we go. There we go. 3 days really in balance. My mouse is freaking out on me. All right. I don't like when that happens. We didn't do the TPO chart here, did we? 3 days in balance. All of these neutral variation days, normal variation days. Little excess on the lows here. And potential for repair up here. It's almost like I find myself saying, well, it could go lower unless it goes higher, or it could go nowhere. Not much help here either. And my mouse isn't giving me much help either. All right, what about the 10-year? 10-year weekly kickoff low. Solid. Solid as can be here. Looking for some continuation to the upside. Yesterday, we lost 9,500 in open interest. We got too short down at this level. We bailed on it yesterday. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. There's that close. It didn't finish. And we've created an island low. Okay, this is an island low. We gapped down, ranged, gapped away. This is an island low. That's why I'm looking for some pretty decent continuation to the upside. And there is space. A lot of space above, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of space. So this island low is sometimes a very strong and powerful reversal signal. This mouse is making me crazy. I make mincemeat out of that mouse. Here's the natural gas. All right. Well, what are we doing now? We're looking relatively range bound now, aren't we? A lot of indecision in the center of this range. We lost 11,000 in open interest, but this market is now in rollover. Look at the 30. Well, we opened in range and in value, centrally located in the area of developing balance. You're going to stay patient. Another day yesterday with two-sided auctions, sellers, meet buyers, meet sellers, and we're still there. Let the market establish some extremes early today before getting too involved here. And, the natural gas is a market that I don't recommend for anybody. It's a vicious, nasty market. TPO, normal variation, really, centrally located, neutral. Prominent point of control here, point of control. Visuals on either side. It's another market where I'm thinking, well, it could go higher, unless, of course, it goes lower. And that's not helping anything. So don't get involved if you don't see anything. Don't get involved if you don't see anything. Savoir-faire is everywhere, right? I'll make mincemeat out of that mouse. Here is that spreadsheet again. We were asking to see the S&Ps. Looks like a checkerboard, doesn't it? There you go. Well, David, I think we just dated ourselves because kids these days have no idea. I just lost my mouse. There it is. Kids these days, they have no idea of that cartoon. You bet, wanted. Oh, yeah, there was one other thing I was going to show you as long as my mouse cooperates. So on the bulletin, you'll notice. Come on, mouse. It says preliminary. The final will come out probably around 9:30-ish most days. And all you do is just refresh the page and it'll come up final when it's out. Alrighty. All right. Come on, mouse. Let's go. Make it happen. There we go. All right. Well, folks, that's it for me. Yes, I got to bang it on the table a couple of times, right, Bruce? Yeah, I probably. I'll do that, Dan. Thank you very much. All right. Now it's gone. Now it's back. I'm going to get out of here before I get stuck. Take your deep breath, ladies and gentlemen. Stay humble, grateful, creative, and centered in your trading today. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to do something really nice for yourself. We work hard at this. We deserve it. Of course, be kind to others. Please say a prayer for peace, blessings to you all.